Namaste students, my name is JVN's Dr. Neeraj Dholia, Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Science, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. So today we will discuss the topic that is enzymes for DNA manipulation, and this belongs to the subject microbial genomics. So there are many enzymes which are utilized or applicable in the DNA manipulation. For example, the restriction endonucleases are there, DNA ligases are there, alkaline phosphatase, DNA polymerase, reverse transcriptase, and many more. So enzymes are many, but the two important enzymes are very useful, and by the discovery of them, the genetic engineering became possible. So one is the cutting enzyme, that is also known as the restriction endonuclease, and second one is the joining enzyme, that is known as the ligase. So the by the help of these two enzymes, we can cut and join any DNA segment. So modification enzymes are also there, but these two are very important. So the restriction endonucleases or the restriction enzymes, as they are called popularly, recognize unique base sequence motifs in a DNA strand and cleave the backbone of the molecule at a place within or at some distance from the recognition site. So first, they recognize the site. How they recognize? They recognize the specific sequence or presence of the nucleic acids. Okay, so the site that they recognize is known as the recognition site, and they cut by recognizing the site. First they recognize the site, and then secondly they cut after the recognition. Okay, so they can cut at the same site, or they can cut apart from the recognition site on the basis of the that which type of endonuclease is that, or restriction endonuclease is that. So whereas the ligase is the enzyme that joins a 5' end of a DNA with a 3' end of the same or the other strand. So they can join the same DNA molecule, or they can join the different DNA molecules. So with the help of that, you can rejoin the same DNA molecule, or you can join some other uh, gene from some other source in the host genome. Okay, so we will discuss one by one all the enzymes. So first and important is the restriction endonuclease. Okay, so the nucleases are generally it is a part of the nucleus because it acts on the nucleic acid. So it is a part of the nucleus. So there are two types of the nucleases. One is the endonucleases and another is the exonucleases. Exo means from outer side, outside. Endo means within the site. So the endonucleases cleaves the DNA backbone between two nucleotides. That is, it cleaves the double strand DNA at any point except the ends. Okay, and the exonucleases cuts from the ends or at the ends. So they need a double strand for recognition, and the endonucleases remove the or yes, the exonuclease remove or digest one nucleotide at the time starting from the 5' and 3' end of the DNA strand. So the restriction endonucleases cleave only at specific regions in a particular DNA, so that discrete and defined fragments are obtained at the end of the of total digestion. So the name restriction endonuclease originated from an observation of a system of restriction the growth of the phage lambda in a particular strain of the E. coli host cell. So this was observed that the lambda phase is restricted in the E. coli. So with the help of the restriction endonuclease. So that's why it is named the restriction, because it is restricting the growth of the lambda phage. So they call the restriction endonuclease. So the source of the restriction enzymes is utilized for their nomenclature. For example, the enzyme, one enzyme is there, that is EcoR1. Okay, so from the EcoR1 we can understood that it is isolated from the Escherichia coli, E for Escherichia, and ECO, E for Escherichia, CO for coli, R and 1 are the R is this strain, and 1 is the numeric designation for the discovery, the sequence of discovery of that enzyme. Okay, so their name is very specific. We can get some information by the name of the restriction enzymes itself. Okay, so most restriction enzymes recognize only one short base sequence in a DNA molecule and make two single strand breaks, one in each strand, generating the 3' OH and 5' phosphate groups at each position. So the sequences recognized by the restriction enzymes are often palindromes, that is inverted repeat sequences which are symmetrical. So the restriction enzymes can cut DNA in two ways to generate the blunt ends. So cut precisely at opposite sides, like for example is the HPAL that produces the blunt end, means there are not overhangs regions are there. Okay, and staggered ends cut at asymmetrical positions like EcoR1. So EcoR1 is not producing the blunt end, they produces the staggered or sticky ends. Okay, overhangs are there, so with short single strand overhangs at each end. So a large number of restriction enzymes have been identified and classified into the three categories. And what are the categories? Type 1, type 2, and type 3. Means type 1 restriction endonucleases, type 2 restriction endonucleases, and type 3 restriction endonucleases on the basis of their site of cleavage. Means one may be very specific, other one may be less specific. Okay, so the restriction enzymes, they are important, and they are having some important features. So what are the features? That restriction enzymes make breaks in palindromic sequence. Okay, then the breaks are usually not directly opposite to one another. Means generally they do not produces the blunt ends, they produces the sticky ends. Okay, then enzymes generate DNA fragments with the complementary ends, their ends are complementary. So this was about the restriction endonuclease. Okay, so the other important enzyme is the DNA ligase, and the ends of DNA strands may be joined by the enzyme polynucleotide ligase, and this is also known as the molecular glue. Glue is used to join something, so it is used to joining the DNA molecules or gene molecules. So it is known as the molecular glue of the recombinant DNA molecules. The enzymes catalyze the formation of a phosphodiester bond between the 3' OH and 5' phosphate terminals of two nucleotides. The enzymes is thus able to join the unaltered DNA, repair the nicks in single stranded of the DNA, and join the sugar phosphate backbones of the newly repaired and resident recognition of a DNA strand. So the enzyme which is extensively used for the covalently joining restriction fragment is the ligase from E. coli, and the encoded by the T4 phase. As the main source of DNA ligase, the T4 phase, hence the enzyme is known as the T4 DNA ligase. Okay, so the ligation reaction is controlled by several factors like the pH, the temperature, concentration, kinds of sticky ends, etc. As the ligase uses the ends of DNA molecules, so as the substrate rather than the entire DNA, the kinetics of joining depends on the number of ends. available for joining. So other important enzyme is the alkaline phosphatase, and the broken fragments of the plasmids instead of joining with foreign DNA join the cohesive ends of the same DNA molecules. So this is the probability. So the treatment with alkaline phosphatase prevents the recirculation recirculation of the plasmid vector and increases the frequency of the production of the recombinant DNA molecules. Otherwise, it will recirculate and it will rejoin itself. So next one is the DNA polymerase and the cleanup fragment. The DNA polymerase that is generally utilized is either the DNA polymerase 1 from E. coli or the T4 DNA polymerase encoded by the phase DNA. The E. coli enzyme is basically a proofreading and repairing enzyme. It is composed of the 3' subunits, each with a specific activity. They are 5' to 3' polymerase, 3' to 5' exonuclease, and 5' to 3' exonuclease. The enzymes is useful for synthesizing the short length of a DNA strand, specifically by the Nick translation method. The 5' 3' exonuclease activity may be deleted. This edited enzyme is referred to as the cleano fragment. So T4 DNA polymerase possesses the like the cleano fragment, only the polymerase and proofreading functions. So the next enzyme is the reverse transcriptase and the retroviruses possessing the RNA as a genetic material containing the RNA-dependent DNA polymerase, which is called the reverse transcriptase. So this produces the single-stranded DNA, which in turn function as template for complementary long chain of DNA. So this enzyme is used to synthesize the copy DNA or complementary DNA, cDNA, by using the mRNA as a template. The enzyme is very useful for the synthesis of cDNA and construction of the cDNA clone bank and to make the short labeled probes. So the further we will study in the further lectures. So this was all about these important enzymes for the DNA manipulation, and hope you are satisfied with this teacher session. And if you have any query, please write in the comment box. I will try to resolve that. And this session is powered by Digital Version 2, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. Thank you.